Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. Bingo! And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books, 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day. The friendly ticket writers are happy to help, and it's conveniently located next to the famous Del Mar Deli, where you'll find supersized portions of delicious deli items like roast beef, pastrami, and Reuben sandwiches, or soups, salads, and pizza, plus spectacular desserts fit for a king. And right next door is the race book, over 150 seats, each with its own TV screen. There are 16 interactive player terminals, so you can bet right from your seat.
Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. We almost did it. It's the final day of the week, and we have 2 great shows for you today to help you get through your workday if you are working. If not, we still appreciate you watching us here. This is Sports by the Book from the South Point studio. Make sure and subscribe to that channel, please. It really helps us out. I'm Alex White alongside Ryan McCormick. We got a lot to go over. It has been a fun week in sports, I have to say. I mean, we've had a complete game in the postseason. We've had 3 underdogs win outright in the NFL. And I want to start right there, Ryan. Let's start with the Bengals upsetting the Steelers last night. Joe Flacco gets it done.
Yeah, a lot of plus prices paid out last night, except we didn't get our Chase Brown touchdown for that parlay, but he goes over his yardage easily. We get touchdowns from T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and 4 touchdowns from Steelers tight ends, 3 different tight ends that be. So yeah, a lot of plus prices in that game. We've got a stat from OptaStats in that one. There's been one game in NFL history to have both quarterbacks complete 65% of at least 65% of their passes, each throw for 3 or more touchdowns, each have 100 or better passer rating, each have a touchdown of 25 or more, passing touchdown of 25 or more yards, and each of them erase a double-digit deficit. And that happened last night between a 40-year-old and a 41-year-old quarterback.
Pretty incredible. And we've seen these guys, we've seen them through their prime, and it was a fun game to watch, that's for sure. The total closed at 45. Sometimes you do have to just follow the steam. They were betting that total over like they knew. You said there was 2 options for how that game was going to go. First quarter looked like it was going to be a slow slugfest, but I mean, it really picked up in the second quarter. I'm happy for Joe Flacco. It was really cool to see. And Aaron Rodgers, I think he fits in nicely there. I just think that was a desperation spot for the Bengals. Did not want to let Pittsburgh go up 5-1 and really start to run away with that division.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got the Joe Cool magic, right? They still got a Joe at quarterback and are able to keep things going. But I mean, Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and this is probably the best skill position group that he's ever had. And so when you give that to a prolific passer, an experienced passer in this league, it should work out for you, regardless of what the O-line looks like. The guys like that can make up for it. And Joe Flacco is still playing because he can still play.
Pretty incredible, right? And you brought up Chase Brown, and that was the most rushing yards that he's had so far. So they got their run game going, but he kept it simple. Just find Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
How many targets did you say he had?
So Joe Flacco attempted 47 passes. 23 of them were targeted to Jamar Chase. So almost half of 47 went to Jamar Chase.
Well, it was a fun one. It really was. And today on Football Frenzy, we start that at noon, goes till 2 p.m. We will go through all of the NFL games that are coming up on Sunday to complete week 7. 33-31 win right there on our lower thirds by the Cincinnati Bengals over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Have some life. They really do. I mean, Ravens are on a bye week, but they have one win. We'll see if Lamar Jackson gets healthy, and then we'll see what we get from Dylan Gabriel from the Browns. But I'm sure they were watching that game like, we have not been using Joe Flacco correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin just goes to the point of how do you trade a quarterback in division, in a division rival, in a tight division like that. Mike Tomlin has somewhat of an argument there. But, I mean, I should have listened to the resident Steelers fan sitting over here. He was not confident going into last night's game.
Yeah, just had a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Quickly for the National Hockey League, and did get one winner, and I got to thank Dwayne because, I mean, we talked through a lot of games with him, and he liked the Canucks, and I agreed with him and bet that one, put it on the board, plus 155. 3 underdogs won outright yesterday, the Islanders, the Canucks, and the Penguins. I had a feeling we should fade Edmonton again. We were on the Rangers a few nights ago, and Skinner had the best game of his career, potentially, and a lot of luck had to do with that. But I couldn't trust the Islanders. They were coming into that one on a 3-game losing streak, but they found a way. So 3 underdogs, the rest favorites, 6 unders, 4 overs, and a push for hockey. And then let's go to baseball.
Just to jump in real quick, maybe because Edmonton is still on this road trip, it could be maybe it's 2 straight unders for them on this road trip. So it could be a good spot to look for them in the next couple of days. Maybe
like
going under again. So
something to look out for. And then we were kind of making a case for the Bruins and just that huge price on the Knights, and completely overlooked that we should be betting overs.
Yeah.
With Vegas right now. So
absolutely.
We'll keep an eye on both of those moving forward, and especially next week now that hockey is officially back. But let's go to baseball here. I want to start with the NLCS, the Dodgers. Man, they're pitching. Tyler Glasnow didn't have to go deep like Blake Snell and Yamamoto, but 5 2/3, just 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts for him. We got our wish. Mizorowski did pitch the bulk of the game. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts for him. Ashby did not make it out of the first. He did give up an earned run there, 2 hits, and that was really it. I mean, we haven't talked about the unders a whole lot in this series, but it's been all unders, 2-1, 5-1, and 3-1. So, Ryan, that's a combined just 3 runs for the Brewers, who have really struggled, but, I mean, they're seeing great pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, normally it's different brews burning a hole in my pocket, but now we got the Brewers doing it here. So, 3 runs in the 3 games for the Brewers. It's not going to get it done, especially when you're playing this Dodgers lineup. But there were the shadows are kind of what I wanted to point to last. Not necessarily blaming shadows, because Dodgers hitters dealt with it too, and Jacob Mizorowski was absolutely on fire. He tied the rookie record for postseasons in a strikeout, postseason strikeouts in a relief appearance by a rookie. So, but the situation I kind of want to paint here is in the second inning, the triple that Kike dives for, and then they end up scoring a triple to start the second inning. They get a run out. I don't know how I got messed up in this, but anyway, runner on third, 1 out in this situation, and the Dodgers bring their defense in. Okay, Max Muncy makes an unbelievable diving stop, spinning, throw to home, gets the out at the plate. The Brewers would have gone up 2-1 in that situation. They ended up not. Runner on first, 2 outs now. Jackson Chourio lines out to right field. Okay, so now go to the bottom of the second. Still a 1-1 game. Dodgers don't score. 1-1 going top 3. Okay. Tyler Glasnow gets fired up because he should have given up 2 runs in that, or could have given up 2 runs in that inning before. So that fires up a pitcher unlike anything, especially in postseason baseball. The shadows that that both teams were dealing with were right at the pitcher at that point. So top of the 3rd, Tyler Glasnow proceeds to strike out the side, going into to go to the bottom of the 3rd for the Dodgers, right? Sean, if we want to play the video now, this is the strike 3 call against Bryce Terang of you see the ball you see the ball leave Tyler Glasnow's hand, but then it disappears for a half second before it gets gray again, right before Terang swings. There's a glimpse of white. That's Glasnow's cleat. So you don't see the ball up until 15 feet before the plate. And granted, these are professional baseball players. They are used to this. It's not anything new. They deal with shade all the time. But in that instance, both Tyler Glasnow and Jacob Mizorowski, they talked about it on the broadcast, could have just fired fastballs by, because no hitter is going to see it in that situation.
Right.
And so when the Brewers weren't able to capitalize on the opportunity to take their first lead in this series in the 2nd inning, and then they genuinely felt defeated until they finally got to the bullpen, and Dave Roberts does what a great manager does and made the change when he saw that his pitcher wasn't going to get out of it anymore in that 6th inning. And the Dodgers bullpen did exactly what they needed to do. So my point was the Brewers didn't have the timely hitting when they needed to, and that's been their fault in this entire series. They're not getting the leaders. They're not getting the hits from Christian Yelich. They're not getting the timely hitting from Jackson Chourio. They're not getting it from Andrew Vaughn, William Contreras. They're just not getting the timely hitting, and the Dodgers pitching staff has lived up to their name.
It has felt like a series of unfortunate events here for Milwaukee. And on the other side, I can't even say they're lucky, because the Dodgers, I mean, they are just getting it done and have not had to go to their bullpen until last night. And you're right, kind of a defeated Brewers lineup already. And then they missed their opportunity. And then, well, I don't know, kind of the rest of the game, that's exactly how it went, right? And 3 runs, that's all the Dodgers needed to take that one in game 3. But feels like it's an uphill battle. I mean, history says it is, right? Just one time with the Boston Red Sox has a team come back from a 3-0 hole here. Let's turn to the AL really quick, and then we are going to flip it back around, come back to baseball, and go through all of today's action. But I owe an apology to Max Scherzer. I did not see that one coming, but he was outstanding, fired up, looked like the old Mad Max there. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts from him. The big thing, though, is really, I mean, Luis Castillo's a great pitcher, but the Blue Jays' bats are hot. He only made it 2 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and a strikeout. That's not going to do it against this really good Toronto offense. What did you see in that one? Were you impressed with Scherzer as well?
Absolutely. And it's kind of not just Scherzer, but the bullpen was stepping up. They only allowed 2 hits in the 3 1/3 that they went for the Blue Jays. And so Josh Naylor, Gino Suarez, and Dominic Canzone were the only guys on the Blue Jays last night to get a hit. Those were the 3 guys that they made trades for at the deadline, or that the Mariners made trades for at the deadline. So all other guys in their lineup went a combined 0 for 18 and 4 walks last night. That's not going to get it done when the Blue Jays have 2 guys in their lineup, not just Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but Ernie Clement both of them are batting over 450, and they're playing every day in the postseason for the Blue Jays. So it's not just limited sample size, and they're doing it in 2 different spots of the lineup. So it's not like they're doing it back to back and you're getting beat by one spot of the lineup. You're getting beat from the 3 or 4 or 2, 3 or 4, and then you're getting beat from the 7, 8, 9. So you're getting beat.
Yep.
You have 3 outs between there, and then you're getting beat somewhere else in the lineup. So it's very hard to do that if your lineup's not getting it done. And Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez aren't stepping up to the plate. And Jorge Polanco was getting it done in timely fashion against the Tigers and in games 1 and 2, but hasn't been there since we've gotten back to Seattle.
and you need everybody, right? Or at least the big names like you just mentioned. But I mean, Julio Rodriguez was throughout the series, the first 2 games. I mean, it is pretty wild that they put 10 on Toronto in game 2, and then the Blue Jays just flipped it around. I guess you could say those first 2 games were almost just a little hangover from beating the Yankees. Now they've been mentally in this one and just the better team. But just a quick recap, because I skipped college yesterday. There was one college football game. East Carolina did get the win, 41-27. Tulsa covered. The game flew over. It closed at 55, but we saw 68 points in that one. But now we're going to today's action, because we were already talking about the postseason baseball games, and we're going to talk about the games we have tonight. We also have 4 college football games. I'm looking forward to talking about all of those. And we have 4 hockey games we're going to get to as well. That's it for this first show, which probably will be another 30 minutes to get through all of that. But then we take a short little break, and then you'll come join us at noon for Football Frenzy on a Friday here on Sports by the Book. But let's keep it going. Let's get to these baseball games tonight. I'm going to go by rotation order, so I'm going back to the National League here. Milwaukee and Dodgers still in LA. It's game 4 here, up 3-0. So this is a do or die spot for the Brewers. It is undecided, as far as I have seen, who is going to be the pitcher. I have seen Jose Quintana on RotoWire, the lefty, but I don't have it confirmed yet. But it will be Ohtani getting the start for the Dodgers. A $2 favorite, Ryan. I can't remember seeing that in a game 4. Yeah, but here we have it for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys yesterday if the Brewers didn't win last night, I was going to come back to it tonight. I'm not going to fold and say they're going to get swept. Shohei Ohtani is not going to give full length as a starter tonight, unless that they think that the Toronto-Seattle series is going to go 7 and they're going to be able to rest everybody for an extended period of time. I think the Brewers should be able to get to the bullpen earlier than they did last night. The shadows won't be a factor, so they should be able to see the fastball coming from whatever pitcher from the Dodgers. Granted, the Dodgers are going to be able to do the same. So I would more be cautious of that under that we were talking about in this series.
Yes.
Hopefully the Brewers bats will finally wake up and they finally score more than one run in a game in this series. But not having an announced starter yet is alarming. I not confident in the plus 180, not confident in it, but got to do it.
I got to say, though, I am with you. I don't even think it's for the rest factor. I think that Ohtani, I don't think he's 100%. I think they're going to have him try and go tonight. I'm sure that is what he wants, and maybe it'll be like early in the season when we saw them kind of work his way up to pitching 5 innings again, but I think it'll only be a couple innings. I don't think they want to risk anything, especially as we're getting deeper into the postseason. So I'm with you. I think the trend stops tonight. 3 straight unders. I think we're going to get over 8 runs in this one. I think the Brewers show up. I do think we're going to get runs from both sides. I mean, if it is Jose Quintana, I definitely think the Dodgers can keep it rolling here. And I think that the Brewers will get to the bullpen as well. I don't know if they're going to get to Ohtani, but
we're actually getting even money if we want to take the over here at the 8. So chance to push on the 8 and get an even money. I might just do it before we get to the first pitch.
I'm praying it's not a 2-1 after the 5th, or even a tied up at 1 there. But I'm not going to touch the side. I really have no opinion. I mean, I just think $2 is crazy here for game 4, but I can't put anything past the Dodgers now.
Total.
Going back to the first series, right, against the Reds, we thought that their numbers were just so inflated, but they have found ways, and they are definitely the best roster from top to bottom. But let's go to the American League here. We are tied up 2-2, Mariners and Blue Jays. We've already seen this pitching matchup. I am pretty intrigued with what is going to happen tonight because, remember, in Toronto, it was all Mariners. 3-1 was the final, but, I mean, Bryce Miller had pitched the best game we had seen from him in a while, and the Mariners, they got to Kevin Gausman a little bit. I almost think it's going to flip in this one. maybe it's just an underplay, but I definitely think Gosman's going to have a good game here, kind of refocus and be able to shut down this Mariners lineup that has really struggled.
What do you like the full game under? Would you be more inclined to take the first 5 under 4?
Yeah, you could. Yep, you could definitely talk me into that. I do think that that is a better bet, especially with the way the Blue Jays have been hitting. So I got to really depend on Bryce Miller here to slow him down. And it would be hard to do it 2 games in a row. So maybe I'm almost even looking Mariners team total under at this point. But sidewise, do you have any?
Sidewise, I mean, I agree with you. I think the pitching matchup favors Kevin Gausman, and the way that the Blue Jays have been hitting the last few nights, I would go to the Blue Jays when hitting. So that would lead me to say that I like the Blue Jays in this one, and that it's going to be another ALCS of road sweep road, or road sweep road, and sweeping of a road, or all road teams win in this series. But that's crazy. Winning on the road is an incredibly hard thing to do, and for them, the Mariners to win both games in Toronto, and now Toronto to win all 3 games in Seattle, is going to be very impressive. So yes, sidewise, I'm leaning to go with the Blue Jays, but I think I'm more confident in their team total over being able to get to Bryce Miller.
I think you helped talk me off of that one as well. I'm a little worried. I think this is probably a better prop game. Looking at Gausman, I mean, he did have 5 strikeouts in that first one. Maybe trying to see what his strikeout number is to go over. Maybe Bryce Miller going under. It's probably low. He had 3 strikeouts to 3 walks, which definitely makes me nervous. And George Springer, what are we doing? We should just be taking his bases over or hits and bases over. So he did have a home run in that game 1 as well. So props. I'm going to look for some props. I don't hate that Toronto over 3.5 either, if I'm being honest, if they can keep it going here. But tied up, I'm excited. We talked about all year long how both of these teams needed to get the 1 and 2 seeds and get home field. And it's been all the road teams. Yeah.
Except for the Dodgers claiming it back when they get back there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been incredible baseball to watch, honestly.
Yes.
But before we wrap up baseball talk, we did want to get the viewers' thoughts with our poll today. Winner go home, and all tied up in these series. What's your Major League Baseball play of the day? All plus prices here. Blue Jays on the run line plus 160 here at the South Point. Mariners game total under 7. Even money. Brewers money line plus 180, or Dodgers on the run line to stomp the Brewers out of the postseason plus 105. Currently, we're leading with the Brewers money line, thinking that we'll get a game 5 in this one. So keep getting votes in. We'd love to get you guys' thoughts. Comment if you guys want. Let us know how you guys think the games will play out, not just in baseball, but football. Any football games today? What your thoughts going into the weekend? What you guys like? Just let us know. We'll give you guys shout outs.
I am surprised. I actually thought it was going to be Dodgers run line for some reason, but
yeah, we have a lot of Dodgers fans in the chat, so that's what I thought it would be too.
Yeah, thinking they would get it done here. I am going to be checking in with the chat. I see JR in there. David, welcome. Vicarious Vegas. But yeah, please let us know. And remember, if you didn't already, which we have gotten a few, Dean Hill, I appreciate it. Any games for Football Frenzy, got to get them in the chat now, or we're going to miss them and go with the list that we have. But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we have 4 college football games to get to and 4 hockey, and then we will be taking a break till Football Frenzy. But 1 minute, we will be right back, so don't go anywhere.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur, From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Here we go, Sports by the Book on a Friday here. Get into all of today's action. We've got 4 pretty good college football games that we got to get to. I'm sorry I missed Attila in the chat as well, so welcome. And Jern, we've seen Jern in there lately, so we appreciate it. But as I pull up our college football slate for tonight, 4 games, starting with a good one here. Miami Hurricanes hosting the Louisville Cardinals. Miami undefeated coming into this one. And on the other side, the Cardinals have been very good as an underdog. Ryan, I think that explains the big movement, right? Because it has been what appears to be one-way traffic on the dog here in this one.
Well, originally it opened at 13, went to 14.
They bet it up. Okay.
Yeah, and is now back down to under the opener at 12 and a half now on the Hurricanes favored. And the total has just been steady down. Opened at 53.5, now at 49.5. And remember, both of these teams are coming off a bye into this game.
That is correct. Both of them are coming off of a bye. Louisville had a tough loss to Virginia before this one, where they were really in it till the end. And they are a good team. They have Miller Moss now, who came over from USC, completing 67% of his passes, over 1,300 yards, 7-to-4 ratio, so not great. 7.6 yards per attempt, though, and he does have 3 rushing touchdowns as well. The big thing really is Jeff Brom, the head coach, has been fantastic in this role. 9-2 ATS as a road underdog for his career when getting 7 or more points. The other thing is a lot of people are always looking for Mario Cristobal's mess-up game. And it has happened on these standalone spots. Mario Cristobal is still just 7-11 ATS, 2-1 this year, though, as a home favorite at Miami. Lifetime as that home chalk, 20, 33, and 2 against the spread. That is for Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Canes. I'm not going to jump in. I haven't yet. I missed the best of the number. I actually made this number 14. So I wasn't dying to jump in there with the Cardinals. And I think this team's different. Carson Beck has been a great leader for this team. His numbers are fantastic. 73 passing completion, 1,200 passing yards, 11-to-3 ratio. I really like that one. 8.7 yards per attempt, and then 1 rushing touchdown. But they've already proved a lot this year. They have a very tough resume. They've had a tough schedule. They have an impressive resume. Beat Notre Dame, South Florida, Florida, and Florida State all coming into this one. Coming off of the bye, I don't think this is a sleepy spot where you're going to catch Mario Cristobal, but that is just my opinion. I can't fault you if you are going to take the points. Ryan, do you like anything in this one, or are you looking at one of the parlay cards to try and get more points or maybe even a better number on the parlay card?
Well, I know we've been cautioned plenty of times by Vinny and Chris to never tease college football, but I just wanted to point out that if you took the Bengals last night on any of these cards, you were a winner. So 1 winning leg to start the week on any of these cards. Again, you have until kickoffs on Sunday to fill out for NFL games, but you can fill out NFL and college. But yeah, if you want, you pointed out the fact that Mario Cristobal is, you said 20, 33, and 1 against the spread?
It is 20, 33, and 2 lifetime.
So could I interest you in teasing and getting an extra touchdown with Louisville?
I mean, I don't think it's a terrible number. I think they could keep it close. But yeah, I do have to admit, I had the points with Florida against Miami, and the Gators lost 26-7 because we got it. Steam went the other way last second. I was like, okay, that's enough points there for the Gators, and it wasn't close. So this is a very good Miami team.
Absolutely.
Definitely a national champion contender, but they got to go one game at a time. Yeah. And that's always been the problem.
They've got Stanford next week. I really don't think this will be a sleepy spot. This is them just trying to build their resume, to get that 1 seed in the playoff. They have to prove that they're better than Ohio State. So, again, I should be the Hurricanes in this one. Don't want to take the points with Louisville. So would probably be more inclined to take the over in this one.
Don't hate that at all because both of them are really good offenses. Not bad defenses either, but Louisville really hasn't been tested like Miami, but both of them averaging 32 points a game. Miami scoring defense, though, 16.3 opponent points per game. To Ryan's point, though, to add on to these parlay cards, you can get 14 on this card still. If you missed the best of the number and you wish you would have got the 14 with Louisville, you can tie this up with one or two other dogs or even favorites if you get a better number on here and make your own parlay. I have done this the last 2 weeks because I have missed really good numbers, those 7s or 14s, and it's paid out. I like these parlay cards and plenty of options here at the South Point.
The super teaser, you are getting 22 with Louisville, and the 14, 13 and a half, 22, and 19 and a half on the big teaser special. So 3 scores you're getting on those twos.
And, of course, NFL on all of these teasers as well. So you can mix a card together with some college and some NFL if you would like. Let's go to game 2 here for the night. It is a Big Ten matchup. A lot of talk with Nebraska's head coach in Matt Rule. Of course, he has ties to Penn State, so his name has been thrown out there a lot about becoming the next head coach of Penn State. He addressed some of that this week and said he will not get distracted. But this is a pretty interesting matchup here, going to Minnesota, taking on PJ Fleck's team here. Freshman quarterback Drake Lindsey's been really good. I've already said enough. If you watched our show Wednesday, I'm going to throw it to Bruce Marshall because I think that he talked through this game, handicapped this game very well. So if you missed our show Wednesday, you're getting a sneak peek here of what Bruce said about this matchup.
There does seem to be a lot of love for the Cornhuskers in the marketplace, Alex, and I'm wondering why. And it's sort of the same thing with Florida State. It seems like the national media sort of wants Nebraska to be really good, and they've been sort of overpriced here. They haven't been covering these point spreads in recent weeks. Very fortunate to get the win at Maryland last week. And I don't think Minnesota's all that bad. The freshman quarterback, Lindsey, has actually been putting up some decent numbers. They haven't been running quite as well as PJ would have liked. Fleck, though, they didn't play Nebraska last year. He won and covered the previous 5 against Nebraska, including a couple against Rule. Or one against Rule. So I kind of think that Minnesota's worth a look here, plus the points. They're sitting at 4-2, about where we thought they would be, but I just think Nebraska's being overpriced continually in the marketplace, and they're not covering numbers either. So this other thing with Rule, maybe it's a distraction. I don't know that that's going to be a plus for Nebraska. So I'll take the Golden Gophers.
We appreciate Bruce Marshall joining us every Wednesday now on Sports by the Book. It's been a lot of fun, and he has given out a lot of great plays so far to start the season. He also gave out the Bengals, actually. So that was another winner for him. We'll give out all of his plays at the end of today's morning show. So there's one of them, and I'm with him, Ryan. I really like Minnesota. The crazy thing is the stats, analytically, Nebraska is the much better team. I was really diving in yards per play, opponent yards per play, yards per game, and all of them favor Nebraska here, but I didn't make it quite that high. I made it 4.5. I thought this was a great spot to take the points with the home dog. So I jumped in at 7.5, and I'm here with Bruce on Nebraska to keep this game close.
Yeah,
Minnesota. I'm sorry, to keep this game close.
Well, when this one opened up, it was Nebraska minus 7.5, and then it went up to 9 on Tuesday, and then it's been steady back down to now 7, was where we sit at. So yeah, public could have been a false move going with Nebraska, and now steamrolling on Minnesota back down. But that 8 number is available on that ties with the pink ties win card if you're looking to do those on the parlay cards.
Besides that, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like all the 8s are gone. It's just, and even the 7 in the hook for the most part. Just seen a lot of 7s there. It's a conference game. These two know each other well. So Minnesota at home getting over a touchdown, I do like. I would try and shop around though, or try and use a card like that to 7 could mean a push, that's for sure. But should be a good game. As I mentioned, Drake Lindsay, and so did Bruce, freshman quarterback. And on the other side, Dylan Raiola has been very good, over 1,500 yards, 16-5 ratio for him, 8.5 yards per attempt. Very impressive there. Both teams are very pass heavy, which I was pretty surprised to see. Not from Nebraska, but more Minnesota. We know that this conference does love to run the ball. Let's go to game 3 here. We are going into the Mountain West now. San Jose State, and Utah State. Now, this is an interesting one because both of these two are coming off of heartbreak losses. San Jose State really should have won that game against Wyoming. Wyoming had a great comeback win there. And Utah is coming back from Hawaii, which is a pretty brutal loss for them as well. So interested to see how they respond. I would imagine it favors San Jose State just because of the travel and everything with Utah State. But did you see any line movement earlier this week for this game?
Total wise, it's been steady down, opened at 64, now to 61.5. This one's been a toggler though on the side. Opened at -4 for the home team, Utah State, went to 3.5 and has been bouncing between 3.5 and 3. Now currently sitting at 3.5 for the Aggies.
Interesting, because San Jose State is passing a ton, second most out of all the FBS schools, 65% of their offensive snaps. So must think that Utah State can slow them down a little bit here. I guess the spread kind of tells you that as well, but nothing for me in that one. I think those numbers are just right. I actually think that the total's gone a little bit too far down. We'll lean to the over, but as I mentioned, both of them coming off of brutal losses, so I'm going to stay out of that one. Last but not least, we got a good ACC matchup here, North Carolina and Cal. Ryan's face says it might not be. Cal has been a great story, though, so far this year. Freshman quarterback has really shocked everybody. They are 4-2, 1-1 in conference play. On the other side, it has been a disappointment for the Tar Heels. The Bill Belichick experiment not working out so well. It looks like that number is moving that way, though, Ryan. 9 on Cal, but, I mean, they were a bigger favorite earlier in the week.
Yeah, they opened 10.5, went down to 9, went 10.5, down to 9.5, back to 10, and now down to 9. Total has stayed at 47, though. My only thoughts on this one, I'm a Tar Heel born and a Tar Heel bred. So the difference between these two programs right now, Ron Rivera, the former NFL head coach, is the one that's the GM of Cal football. So he is running the organization as a pro football organization. You want to make the point that Bill Belichick is running Carolina football? Not really. We have 50 other people in the building running the franchise, Michael Lombardi and Jordan Hudson for some reason. All right, whatever. But I don't think Carolina has any chance in this game. This team looks lost week in and week out, like they've quit. I would not be taking the 9 on the road, going East Coast to West Coast. This game's going to be a 10:30 p.m. kickoff for the Tar Heels, so it's all with the Golden Bears for me.
I think that is the best point right there too. The travel spot and everything. If it were at North Carolina, maybe, I mean, you wouldn't be getting that many points. But then I would consider it. But I've actually lost with the Tar Heels twice this year, where I thought that they could keep it close, including that first big game against Central Florida. So I'm going to stay off of it. I agree with you as well. Programs are kind of going 2 different directions right now, and we'll see what happens and what changes they make. North Carolina, that is, because it really seems to not be working out there. All right, let's go over to some hockey. We've got 4 games, some notes to give you on these games, and we've been following schedules a lot in the National Hockey League, and we're going to continue to do that so we can give you the best information we can. We're looking at back-to-backs a lot, travel spots, and all that good stuff. So first up, Ryan, if you will give us the line for this one. Minnesota Wild at the Washington Capitals. Minnesota, this is the first of 2 But it is road to road, so it's kind of a business trip for them. But they do have the Flyers tomorrow.
Yeah, well, the Capitals are the favorite in this one. The home team minus 125. Total sitting at 5.5 with juice to the over.
Don't really think there is much to be done in this game because I do think the Caps should be the favorite at home. Even though Minnesota, we do have to watch out for them because when healthy, they are a very good team. And Washington is starting the year a little bit slow, but now they picked it up again. Gotten a couple wins under their belt. Really good goalies in this one, right? Gustafsson versus Logan Thompson. So I completely agree with the 5.5, and I can't really do anything in that one. Next one, it should be a good one. Tampa Bay and Detroit.
Yeah, well, just one more point on the Minnesota-Washington. It's the lowest total on the board, so yes, it is supposed to be the best goalie matchup of the night. But yeah, if we want to go now to Detroit.
Wait, to your point again, I wonder what we got to follow the trends here because I bet the Caps' first period unders is fire this year, and I think that's the only way you could play it between these two.
I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. The Capitals back-to-back unders in their games period. 2 wins. 1-0 win at New York and a 3-2 overtime win against the Lightning. So I wouldn't fault you for the under there. But I do think Minnesota's offense is definitely capable. So it's 5.5. Caution, but
5.5, exactly.
Do like the under. But going to those Lightning that the Capitals beat the other night are on the road in Detroit. They are a road favorite, minus 150, plus 130 on the Wings. Total is 6 with juice to the over.
Juice to the over. I do agree with that. It is Vasilevsky going, or I'd probably be over 6. I think that we could see a 6.5 later today. So if you like the 6, I would take it now. But I trust both teams to get some scoring here, and Red Wings are on a nice 3-game win streak coming into this. So yeah, that's the only way I would lean. I do think Tampa Bay should be a road favorite, even though we are trying to look for value on some dogs right now. But pass for me on that one. It's a lean to the over. Did you like anything in that matchup?
Not necessarily. No, we can go to the next one, which is also another road favorite, and a team I think you like, right? In the Canucks.
No, I think I'm going to stay off of the Canucks tonight.
Okay.
With that back-to-back. I got their win yesterday, right? And Chicago's been feisty. You got to be impressed with the Blackhawks to start the season. Spencer Knight will get the start. So I think that number's correct. I don't know if it's enough for me to jump in on the dog at home. And I think the total's right, too. Do you see anything off there?
Well, I mean, you made the point. It is a back-to-back. It is a back-to-back of Vancouver was in Dallas last night and had to fly to Chicago for the game to tonight. So overnight travel for the Canucks. And yeah, the Blackhawks offense has been pretty solid to start the year. So I will be going back to it, playing my guys, Connor Bedard and Frankie Nazar, to get points and goals. Not necessarily advising you to do so, but I do think the Blackhawks are live in this game with the travel factor for the Nucks.
I like it. I really do. Let's go to the West Coast game here with the San Jose Sharks and the Utah Mammoth. San Jose road to home. Those are the ones I kind of like to look at as well. So they will be playing tomorrow, and they will host Pittsburgh. San Jose Sharks have lost 3 in a row, but minus 250, that is a big number there. You'd have to look at the puck line already with Utah, but I don't know if we're ready to do that, if I can trust them yet. And I think 6.5 is correct. I can't even get there with an under on that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you. We tried the Mammoth puck line against the Flames the other night, and we got there with the empty netter. We're playing against the worst team in the league in the San Jose Sharks, so if you want to take the chance on the even money there, I wouldn't fault you, but it is a bad team in the Utah Mammoth, so I wouldn't exactly be confident there.
That would be pretty impressive to get the puck line. Them covering twice in a week.
Yeah.
The Mammoth. That'd be good. But I don't know, even money, I'm tempted. I really am.
The total is 6.5 with juice to the under, so thinking it's going to stop at 6, so you're going to need 2 at least from the Sharks in order to cover the puck line with where that's at. And it's a matter of, do you think they'll get there? Or will the Mammoth get to 4? Which I don't know.
The Mammoth could get to 3, and they can hold the Sharks to 1. Can we get that? Or, I don't know, 4-2.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more likely. But it's still early. You got to be careful. Tread lightly with all of those picks. I'm going to check in with the chat one more time, and then we've got, actually, I'm going to throw it to you to go through trivia while I go through the chat.
Absolutely.
And then we can do our last final shout-outs before we do the poll, too.
Well, so our trivia question for the day was a horse racing question. And if you're not watching Race Day Las Vegas at 7 to 8 a.m. Wednesday through Sunday, you're missing out on picks. So at South Point Studio on YouTube, Ralph Sirocco leading you through the horse racing slate for the day daily, Wednesday through Sunday, and absolutely doing a great job doing so. But as for today's ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, on this date in sports history, Hall of Fame jockey, I'm going to feel bad if I say Angel and it's Angel, but Angel Cordero Jr. secured career win number 7,000 while riding Don't Cross the Law at Belmont Park on this date in 1991, so October 17th, 1991. Name one of the horses that Cordero Jr. rode to victory in the Kentucky Derby during his racing career. There were 3 such horses that you could have gotten the answer with, that you could have gotten the correct answer with. Kentucky Derby in 1974 on Cannonade, in 1976 on Bold Forbes, and in 1985 on Spend a Buck. The jockey with 7,057 total career wins is one of 11 jockeys to have won the Road for the Roses 3 or more times.
Wow. Very good.
We did have 2 polls in there for you. So we had the baseball to start it for you when we were talking baseball and hockey, or baseball, going through the recaps, and then we brought up a football poll for while we were talking football. So the results of the baseball one, getting plus prices, where our viewers are playing the plus price on the diamond. Blue Jays run line minus a run and a half, plus 160. Mariners under 7, even money. Brewers money line, and the Dodgers run line plus 105. The poll winner in that one was the Brewers money line. So hopefully the Brew Crew can get it done, force a game 5, more action in baseball over the weekend. And for football, all games today, which road dog wins in college football, wins outright, I believe, is what we were going with. But we included the spreads. Louisville plus the 12.5, San Jose State plus the 3.5, and the Tar Heels with the 9. And 60% of you said the San Jose State Trojans will cover in Utah State against the Aggies.
I've got a feeling that is because it's the smallest spread there, 3.5. So they do have a shot to win that outright. But we appreciate everybody jumping in on that one. I do have the whiteboard ready. I'm taking a couple shots on some dogs. Not getting plus 120 anymore with the Blackhawks. So I think South Point has the best number right now, plus 115. And I do need to check what that run line is. Even money with the Mammoth. Okay. So I do actually have 4 plays, 2 hockey, 1 baseball, and 1 college football. We will have more football plays for you starting at noon on Football Frenzy. Chris will go through all of his throughout the show. And then at the end of the 2 hours, we'll give out his NFL and then tweets his college later. I tweeted mine last week as well. I'll probably do that same thing for my contest picks for college football. So today, though, whiteboard time. Today's action for me, Friday. We talked through those baseball games. I was leaning to a first 5 innings under for the AL, but I stayed off of it. I do agree with Ryan that we were going to see some runs there, especially both teams have seen these pitchers. I'm going with the NL, though, and we've seen 3 unders. I think we're going to get some runs here in this game 4 between the Brewers and the Dodgers, so I'm going over 8 there. Minnesota taking the 7 against Nebraska. I just think Nebraska's still a little overrated. We'll find out here if they can keep it close. Half a unit play in hockey. Blackhawks plus 115. Vancouver on their second game back-to-back. And then Utah minus 1.5. Even money there. So that's it for me. Ryan, did you have any official? Actually, you did have a couple official.
I wanted to bring up with my Blackhawks plays, the player props there. So you should be getting over $2 on Frankie Nazar. Frank Nazar is what his name will be if you bet it. And Connor Bedard should be getting over $2 on each of them to each score a goal. Player points, Connor Bedard is minus 170, so that's above the limit that I was setting for this. But Frank Nazar is minus 130, so that is right there. So I will be taking Frank Nazar to record a point, both to record goals. And then I was with you there on the over in Milwaukee and Dodgers tonight. I'd like Toronto. And getting to NFL, I will be going with my Bears. It opened 5.5, now down to 4.5. Going to cover the 4.5. It's a Dennis Allen was just fired from New Orleans. He's going to have the defense fired up. Ben Johnson going against Kellen Moore. The two young offensive geniuses in this league are getting compared next to each other. And then Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler have the history going back to Oklahoma. So I do think this Bears team should be fired up. Granted, they had a 1-point win against the Commanders when they should have been fired up coming off a bye week. But I do think the Bears will be able to get it done minus the 4.5 on Sunday.
Not to mention the Saints. A lot of people say they're frisky, and they very much are. But that is more at home. Now they're going to be on the road.
No,
so.
it's in New Orleans.
It is?
Yeah. Isn't it?
I trust you.
Am I? No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know where that. Yeah, you're right. It's the Bears at home minus 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So that was the first thing that I really thought of was now the Saints going on the road. But yeah, you got a nice home game coming up.
I mentally got stuck in the Giants were at home in New Orleans and was replaying that game. The Daniel Bellinger connection had my brain thrown for a second. But yeah, it is in Chicago. Bears cover 4.5 on Sunday. There we go.
So Blackhawks today, Bears on Sunday. We're rooting for your teams there. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Went a little bit over, but just have a lot of fun recapping and going through all of the day's action. We'll see you again in an hour and 10 minutes. It's Football Frenzy right here. You don't have to change the channel. Sports by the book. We'll see you soon. For Ryan McCormick, I'm Alex White. See you in an hour.